My name is Siem. I live in The Hague. I am currently working as a visual artist, producer and DJ and trying to make my way through these things. I come from the Netherlands. I grew up in some village north of Amsterdam, and yeah, I've been living in The Hague for like 5 years now, and I really like it. I also came in touch with the club scene here, and I've been organizing or doing some things and also playing around The Hague at least, and a little bit Rotterdam, and yeah, c'est ça. I've always been into music. Like, my father owns like 2,000 CDs. Like, it's a big wall in the freaking living room. So I've always kind of like grew up with it, and I've started, must be like 4 years ago when I first started to touch Ableton. Before I also made some sound collages in a wave editor, and then I slowly started playing around with like field recording samples, seeing what I could build out of noises I could just like catch from the streets, and trying to like, yeah, get handy with the software, trying to like manipulate the sound, and then slowly trying to make the sound more concise and going more from sound towards music somehow.
The sky's on fire and everything's still as weird as it was when you were awake, let's say.
I've been doing that for a while, and then after, yeah, like 2 years ago, me and Börk, my friend, we were like, okay, I proposed him like, okay, we should try to make some parties, try to DJ somewhere. And we were building up from just like doing some house parties, just dragging sound systems here and there in all sorts of dodgy situations. I think we've burned like 5 sound systems in total. It was kind of dodgy because, yeah, you were just using home speakers and trying to blast as loud as you can, and then, yeah, shit went wrong sometimes, and the police would also blow the parties off. And then after a while it slowly got a bit more professional, also when we shared our own studio. It was a really small room within the academy, but that was somehow perfect because they were banning parties from the academy. Well, first they had through like big raves and gallery spaces, but that also quit before I went to the academy, so I sadly never experienced those parties, which is quite a shame. So there were basically no parties anymore at school. So in that sense, by having like a small space within the school that virtually had no sound, you could virtually not hear it outside of the building. It was perfect, but it was just like a 30-person capacity room. And we just invited people to play there. We had a graphic designer making some posters. It was like a small sketchy organization of a VJ, a couple of DJs, and a graphic designer, and someone who would make some PR from time to time. So then we already had like the foundation to do like proper parties. Then we asked Pip for the first time, hey, we've been doing this for a while. Can we try to do it at PIP itself? And they were happy to do it. We did it with another organization from The Hague, with Happening. We threw 2 parties at PIP. That was the first time we kind of went professional, but we also hit our head like pretty badly after the second one. And then we quit for a while because we felt like the initial team that we were like doing our parties with in the studio kind of fell apart, and then we ran out of steam basically, and I was also graduating from the academy, so there was like a lot of stress from different positions, from different angles. Like I had to finish graduation work, visual work, because I'm still a visual artist, so I still needed to manage that. I needed to write a thesis, website stuff, these kind of things. And while I was graduating, I was also working on the album that I released just now. I started producing by just like collecting styles from the street, so I would like I could borrow some field recorder from school and I just would walk around, and I'd also have a contact microphone with me, so just recorded sounds from the street. Like I would use like sounds of the wind overloading the microphone, or like sounds from machinery were quite nice. Like they have a certain frequency, so you can make like a tone out of it. I also banged against stuff with contact mics, and I tried to explore like sounds in general like that, and then I would put them into Ableton and then see what I could make out of it, whether I could make music out of these sounds, and try to build some inventivity from working from like sound towards music, because it's quite a translation to make to get some sort of tonality out of like, I don't know, a drill that you hear in the street, for example. I bought like this cheap microKORG synth, and I was writing my thesis at the time, as I remember, and I was kind of like procrastinating that. So I would like spend a lot of time in Ableton, and also I would record samples from like video games, because also like the concept of the album is somehow this apocalypse from the perspective of like a shut-in, or that was my idea. So I also wanted to like sample from video games, which also had this concept of an apocalypse or lost society in their minds, like games like Majora's Mask or Zelda Majora's Mask and Dark Souls. What else did I put in there? There was also some online game which I played regularly, like Guns. It was also like, it's like a dying community somehow, that's a game that's almost lost and forgotten. So I kind of like try to get material from these albums, so we just play it, have a tape machine rolling, and then play the game, archive it, and then I would play around it in Ableton. Yeah, so that was kind of the framework. Like I had these samples from these games, I had this synth, and from there on I tried to make like, okay, I'm gonna make a release about it being at your home, but somehow thinking that everything is going to shit, and then through using all this material or sounds that you can get in your room. I also recorded myself just like typing, smoking, when I was still smoking at the time. So really tried to like suck everything out from that environment. I've been working on the album, I think, for in total 1 year or so. Like the initial production of a couple of tracks took like 3 months, and then I dropped them for a while, and then I felt then at a certain point I really started feeling the necessity to release this or finalize the project. I had this character Stiib at one point to perform with, so then there also came more of this urgency to make an event or present this character somewhere. So then I finished mastering all these tracks. I got in touch with a place of an artist space run by my friends, and I proposed to them the event, and they were like, "Yeah, let's have this release event to release the cassette." And the event itself, it was basically a clash of the album and my visual practice as one entire world. This release event was basically just another step in my music career, but also artistic career, merging the music with the arts, and then defining my sound as a producer, and bring that closer to my artistic practice, actually, overall. So it felt a bit like a total upgrade. So for me, I'm just going to continue building on this character Stiib and keep on defining it. What is it? What kind of world does it come from? It's also a bit of a journey for me, but that's also what I like, to kind of get lost in a world that I don't even know, but also take the other people along with it. The album you can buy on Bandcamp. You can also listen to it on SoundCloud. I keep most of my updates on Instagram and Facebook. And that's it. So check out stiib.bandcamp.com and get yourself an amazing copy.